Welcome to Author's Ideas, a production of JR Global, an MJR production. This series is based on the recent Oxford University Press published book, Global Business in the Age of Destruction and Distraction. As a part of their Global Business series, Gaurav Rastogi joins J.R. Klein and Mahesh Joshi in examining and exploring the disruptive nature of today's world, and introduces ideas for learning how to cope with disruption and remain relevant. Here is your host, J.R. Klein.
Today we get to the how-to portion of last week's episode, Continuous Learning, Deep Work, and Deep Thought. We're talking about deep thinking. Deep thinking is about the ability to tune into thinking and not about the thoughts themselves. It's about knowing which thoughts are good. That is where we ended up last week. Now, we have to think about, does this happen in practice? In education and career life, there's little teaching or attention given to the management of time. It is assumed or implied that people will figure it out for themselves. There is also little or no formal training available for self-management. One of the biggest gaps in this understanding of self-management is how to handle individual time, energy, and attention span. As a result, most people end up picking up the wrong habits. People will end up living their entire life not knowing any of these three things: continual learning, deep work, deep thinking. Deep work requires the ability to handle all three. It requires the ability to master time, do things at a managed pace rather than have it dictated by external circumstances. It requires the mastery of intentional resources and the use of your time, your energy. As an example, a clerk named Albert Einstein managed his time and energy and attention during his commute and the rest of his day, and during that time was able to produce 5 different scientific papers, each of which was brilliant, each of which were on different subjects. Einstein's work was not as a patent clerk. It was his deep work that set him apart. It was not the ability to do 5 things simultaneously. It was about how to master how to do one thing at a time with focus and then move to the next thing. It's not that some people have more time on the planet than others. It is that some people know how to handle time better, handle their energy better, handle their attention. As a result, they simply get more done and become more satisfied in the process. That is deep work. The reason there is a 9-to-5 workday is that over 100 years ago, companies were trying to figure out how to keep people in the office in industrial jobs. Industrial jobs tended to be repetitive and boring. It did not matter if their attention span was high or low or medium. The requirement was that they just had to be in the office and do whatever repetitive task had to be done. The idea of deep work is not about spending more time working. It is about engaging in deep work that pays a dividend of more time. Highly productive people have figured out how not to be distracted and how to increase their attention span. Now, attention is like muscle exercise. It gets stronger over time. One of the tools to help build the skill of mental focus is that some call meditation or introspection or practice or contemplation, and is the core of developing high-level work skills. Leaders have to learn to become good at what they do. To do that, they must practice holding the audience's attention and practicing tuning in and listening to the voice of the group. This requires focused practice and learning the art of introspection, meditation, learning contemplation or meditation needs to become a core skill for professionals, especially those professionals who want to be at the top of their game.
Thank you for listening. If you are interested in more of the author's ideas, look for their Oxford University Press published books on global business, wherever books are sold. If you are interested in contacting the authors, they can be reached at info@jrglobal.co.